If you had to choose two hats, for example, in my assignment I chose the red and green hat. You can improve decision making, creativity, and balance. The green hat stands for creativity and possibility. It encourages free thinking and trusting your gut in creation. The red hat stands for emotions and intuition. For example, in Pixar's Inside Out 2015, the red character Anger reacts on pure emotion. But in the bigger picture, if you zoom out, the green hat was involved in the whole production. Disney's Big Hero 6 2014, it represents the green hat because Hero, the character, is always inventing and innovating his inventions. He is always creating and problem solving. He also has an emotional side that the viewer can feel after his brother's death, which balances the character with the red and green hat. Even though we have the freedom to create, we also need to be mindful of misrepresentation, stereotyping, and having the ability to decolonize. For example, in Pocahontas, they harmed the understanding of indigenous history. It shuts off the indigenous voices and focuses on the settlers' experience rather than who they are. Stereotyping. Stereotyping people of color or race is not okay, because then you are placing an idea of a whole world of people in one box. For example, in True Lies 1994, Arab characters are mostly terrorists with no real motivation beyond destruction. It reinforces the Arab terrorists. Yet our neighbors Palestine are getting terrorized at this moment by Western terrorists. Bronfenbrenner's ecological system theory explains how what we watch growing up ingrains in our brain and has a huge impact on how we grow up. If I grew up watching cultures being misrepresented, I will grow up to be racist. When people think of Egypt, for example, they think of pyramids, death, mummies, and tombs. But what about the locals? Is that all we are? The only way to represent a country is by living with the local for a few months and fully listen to their story. Finding inspiration is all around us. It sits in front of us at the right time in the right place, if we're aware. Randomly picking up an object taught me so much about how every object around us has a story and an origin, sometimes even dating up to BC. For example, picking up a panpipe taught me about its origins, starting in ancient Greece, and was called the god's pan. The Greeks used it in their religious ceremonies, but then it became other things in different countries. After doing my research on 6 thinking hats and decolonization of design, I learned so many valuable things. The 6 thinking hats helped me realize how structured thinking can enhance creativity, problem solving, and teamwork. Each hat represents a different mode of thinking, whether it is being logical, emotional, optimistic, cautious, creative, or managing the overall process. And together they provide a balanced approach to decision making. Whilst learning about decolonization of design opened my eyes to how deeply colonial influences are embedded in mainstream design practices. It made me question who design really serves and whose voices are being marginalized. I realized that truly inclusive design means valuing indigenous knowledge systems, embracing diverse worldviews, and challenging Eurocentric standards. Thank you. This is the end of the presentation.